What's up, everybody? Back in New York, and on the XR, I just changed the handlebars. I put Pro Taper CR low on here because that was all I could get. All the other ones were on back order. Yeah, it's getting chilly up here. I got to put the heated grips on. I got these Oxford heated grips. They're pretty good. And this is the Lexx exhaust on here. I put this on when I was down in Florida, and I did a valve job too. I think I would recommend checking your valve specs. Check your valves for specs on this. This joint also is really important, and you have to make sure you have clearance for your air box. But basically, I used an extra Lexx exhaust that I had was for a KLR, so I had to drill this out and mount it up. It mounted up pretty good. This is without the this is with the silencer in, so it's pretty loud. If you take that out, it's going to be really loud. On my KLR, I have the silencer out, but this one, airbox is stock. Everything's stock on this. Just check the valves are in spec, because you know, when you put this exhaust on, you want to make sure your valves are in spec, because if your valves are not in spec, then you might have some issues. You know, I went down to Florida also because I wanted to do my valves, because when I try to start the bike, that's how it sounds when I'm driving down. It's pretty good. A little bit louder, you know, like I started to notice that people were like, when I would pull alongside a car, sometimes someone would be frightened, like they didn't see me. So I kind of like felt like people weren't seeing me. I was getting the feeling that people weren't hearing me, you know. So because of my KLR, I never had a problem with people not knowing that I was alongside them. You know, people always knew when I was alongside them. They could never get surprised. Now, and going up to 125th in the gas station there. I got to check something in the car, and then I'm going over to Brooklyn. Back in New York, back in traffic again. Getting off at 125th. Yeah, I like these CR low bars. They're actually pretty good. Not bad. I mean, it would have been nice to have a high bend bar, you know, so that when you stand up, it would have been a little better. but this is decent. I mean, I couldn't get everything was on back order because there's a lot of problems with things. That's why I couldn't get the I actually couldn't get the I had trouble finding the Lexx exhaust for this bike. It wasn't available, so I went ahead and just put the KLR one on there. Definitely this Lexx exhaust is loud enough that people can hear you, whereas the stock exhaust on the KLR was not so good. Actually, the stock exhaust was terrible on that. The stock exhaust on the XR is quite big, and it gets pretty hot over there. Yeah, the stock exhaust on this bike, actually, I have to admit, is way too quiet. It's sort of like the KLR exhaust. It's way too quiet on the stock KLR exhaust. It's way too quiet. Yeah, because I remember my KLR exhaust being way too quiet and very hot on the passenger, which I noticed with this bike too, because there's a certain amount of restriction going on in that exhaust, you know, to restrict the sound. And it's not a catalytic converter, but it's definitely doing something to restrict the bike. Not horribly. I mean, the bike, but I did notice this bike has a lot more pickup with this exhaust. So I'd have to say, without a doubt, and the Lexx exhaust, I got it for 210 on eBay, and it was originally for my KLR, because my Lexx exhaust on my KLR is looking pretty roached. Like, it's looking pretty bad. It's just like discolored, and you know, I guess you really got to take care of that thing. But you know, I drive the KLR in the deep winter, you know, when they start salting the roads and everything, and it's not something that you can really take care of perfectly. You're gonna get some discoloration on the bike. The KLR is a blacked out bike, so it's pretty easy to take care of, but this XR would be looking pretty roached if I drove it during the time when they salt the roads. It would look like hell, actually. So I wouldn't want to do that. I'd rather not anyway, if I didn't have to. I'd rather just take care of the bike and, you know, keep it semi-decent looking. But anyway, I ordered that Lexx exhaust for the KLR when it was still available. Now that's not even available, because I was going to try to order another one for the KLR, so when I put that on the road I could at least have a decent looking exhaust. So I ended up yeah, the sound is actually pretty good on this. It's not obnoxious. It's decent. Decent because you can hear when I'm coming, which is really what I'm trying to do. I don't want to be like a super obnoxious. I'd rather not. I mean, I've heard these bikes with the big guns on it. The big guns is with the silencer tip out is pretty obnoxious. This one sounds like a bike like it should. Stock one is no doubt about it, 100%. I'm 100% sure on the fact that that's too quiet. That's without a doubt. It's just way too quiet. I mean, it took me a while to finally realize that, but I had somebody, actually, the interesting thing was the turning point for me was when I was in Florida, and I was driving with my wife on the back, and we were coming out from going to dinner, and we were on our way back around 10, and some dude that, like, cut across the entire road on Port St. Lucie Boulevard, you know, he legally popped into the road, but it was just really fucked up the way he did it, because I was just coming along doing about 55 on a 4-lane road, a 3-lane, sorry, and he just like jumped through the entire, from the other side, cut across the U-turn thing, came in front of me, so I braked, and then I tried to go around him, and then he fucking, it was like he didn't even see me. He like popped into the, from the left lane, he popped into the left lane first, lane number 1, and then he started going into lane number 2. Then he went into lane number 3, and I was already going in lane 3 trying to get away from him to go around him, because I don't know what the hell he was doing. He just went from the other side of the road, the other side of the highway, and popped all the way across the entire length of the road into the other road, going the opposite direction to make a U-turn in front of me when I'm clipping along at 55. You know, I wasn't like flying, but I was moving, you know, at a pretty, 55 is not horrible. I mean, I could have totally braked and stopped, but I went into the right lane to avoid him when he made the U-turn in front of me. And then he went from the lane number 1 all the way to lane number 3. Like, I don't even know what he was doing. And he looked like, and then my wife was looking right at him when we were alongside of him. And he started going into the right lane when we're right there. Like he didn't even see us. And then he got frightened when I honked my horn and he saw me. It was weird. So it definitely, I realized, all right, this exhaust has got to go, because I've had too many instances where people couldn't see me, hear me. I had too many instances where people would see me when it was too late. Reason, I don't know why, you know, it's just the stock exhaust was just, you know, at a dB level that, you know, meets requirements of California and other states. And it's my understanding now that California is very strict about aftermarket exhaust, because I noticed when I got the Lexx, the packaging, it says this is not legal in California. So it goes to show you that California